welcome everyone to Local Journal Podcast. I'm your host Srishti. Today we have a very exciting episode for all the legal minds out there who are interested in pursuing data privacy and protection as a career path. Joining with us today is a seasoned professional in this field, Maísa from Portugal. Maísa is a professional with a strong background in compliance, legal consultancy, data protection and privacy with over 5 years of experience. She is a trusted advisor for personal data defenses and ensure compliance with complex regulatory requirements. So welcome to the podcast, Maísa.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me, for inviting me. I'm very excited to be talking about something that I really love, which is privacy and data. So thank you very much for having me in this session.
Thank you so much. And my first question to you is, can you tell us about your inspiring journey as a data protection privacy lawyer and what prompted your interest in this field?
Yeah, of course, happy to. So basically, when I finished, like college degree, I started working with tax. So basically, tax consultancy and numbers and Excel files and everything concerning this. But then I decided to do like a switch on my career, and then I started working more with legal, so more lawyer, with contracts, agreements, and those stuffs. But after a while, I was working in a fintech company, so we had a lot of data protection topics related with legal. So it was kind of a natural thing for me. So I was just dealing with legal things for the company, but then data protection was kind of appearing each day more. And then I moved to kind of more a compliance role in this fintech. And then basically it was necessary for me to understand more data protection laws and regulations, especially here in Europe. So it was just basically a natural movement for me. Kind of the career pushed me into it, and I was kind of intrigued about all of that. So I started like studying on my own because I needed because of my work. Basically, and then I had like some colleagues that were already working on this, so they gave me like some tips. So why don't you read this book? Why don't you do this? So I was just starting to get each day more involved, following, like some groups, decisions, and getting myself each day more involved in this topic. And after a while, I kind of fell in love with this because I was really obsessed with this topic. It was very interesting for me. So basically, it was just natural. So I started with tax and then legal compliance, but then now only privacy. I decided privacy is my thing. I see a brilliant future for this topic. So why don't I just jump on it directly? So basically, it was kind of a mix of stuff, people guiding me, and I'm passionate about tech. So of course, as privacy laws and data protection is really, really close to tech, and it's very innovative. So it's kind of felt like a good option for me. And considering, like my choices, what I like. So yeah, I just fell in love with that. It's not very classic as usually, legal work is very traditional. It's more disruptive and innovative. So basically, just following what life was bringing to me. But then, of course, I fell in love with this, and that's where I am right now.
That's really interesting to hear and was very inspiring. And my next question to you is did you face any struggles during your initial stage?
Yes, like in the beginning, it was kind of hard to understand all of the regulations and laws that are around this topic. So when you are working in a very multinational environment, so very globalized, you need to verify legislations, regulation in each country. So in US, you have one law per state, so it's a challenge. And then in Europe, you have kind of a regulation for all European countries. But then when you go to Latin America, you have the specifics for each country. So in the beginning was kind of my biggest struggle, I would say, was trying to understand how all of this works and how all of the regulations kind of talk to each other. And when you are working in a place where they have like operations in different countries and in different states, you just need to understand what this country needs to be compliant, and then the other country is different. So trying to adapt all of this and have all of this in your mind. Especially because in Europe you have a very strong already regulation on this topic, but in some other countries they're still very embryonic. So trying to like organizing my mind around this and how this applies to my work was a big challenge. And of course, you have in this field of data protection, you have data protection authorities in each country. and they issue usually like court rulings regarding a topic or a company. So also following what data protection authorities were thinking and saying about a specific topic. So maybe in a country they think like this, and in another country they have a different position. So also considering all of this together is kind of still is a challenge, not only the beginning, but it is still a challenge. And of course, because it's very, very new, a very new topic, you don't have like, I don't know, like those ideas that you usually have like in civil law and criminal law. There is, a very long history of law, like criminal, administrative law. So it's very new and it's very innovative. So each day you have something new. It's still being constructed. I think like a basis for this and books and of course manuals and people talking about this is still very new, and it's still being constructed every day. So every day you're going to have something different and a new challenge, like now with AI. So every day something new is going to appear. So following all of those trends together, not only like the regulations and what data protection authorities are saying, but also the new things that are coming that has an impact data protection. So I think this was my main struggles, not only in the beginning, but also now. It's still something that I usually face on my daily work.
That was really interesting to hear about the challenges you faced. Now, my next question to you is like, what is your favorite part of working in this legal space, especially covering data protection, privacy, and risks? What is your favorite part?
I think the favorite part is basically like the challenges that are around this. It's very new, it's a new topic, very disruptive. So each day you have something different, and you need to think not only about like law, like reading regulations, interpretation, like a normal lawyer work, but you need to think more regarding technology, because basically right now all of our data and our personal data is in kind of a computer or in a cloud, in a system. So involves more technology, knowledge, and understanding and curiosity. So I think this is something that I'm really, really passionate about, like the possibilities around technology, of course, but also thinking about the legal and protecting the data subject. So me and you and everyone that, it's a human being is a data subject. So basically like protecting this. And I don't know, I feel like I'm a privacy advocate since I was, I don't know, a young baby, because I'm always thinking about privacy since, like my personal life, I'm very private about it, with the use of social media. So thinking about protecting this is also something that I like protecting children, but protecting sensitive data. So those topics really excites me. I think it's very, very interesting. And it's also because it's not conventional as you usually think about like law and going to a law school. Usually, you have a mindset that is very traditional, conventional, classic, but with privacy, it's very new. It's digital law, tech law, and I see a future in this. So I think all of this together is something that I really enjoy.
That's really interesting. Now, coming to the topic, like there are various current trends in this sector. Like, can you tell us about what are the exact current trends which is affecting this data privacy and protection for all our audience?
Yeah, happy to. I think right now what everyone is just talking about is AI. I don't see like anyone else talking about something different. And of course, as we are talking about privacy and data protection, which is very related to tech and digital law, AI is the new thing. You have some discussions about an AI Act at European level. You have some other countries discussing this, issuing some types of guidelines for AI use. And I think the topic that is most sensitive is because you don't know how companies, what they are doing with your data. So you lack transparency, the ethical use of AI, and of course you can have some problems with algorithmic bias or discrimination regarding these AIs. So right now, I think that's the thing. Usually you see these people talking about this, like privacy advocates. And when you read like some articles, everyone is just really, really focused on the use of AI, of course, but also how you can protect people and the data subjects, protect our data, what they are using with, what they are doing with your data to train their own AI. So it's very complicated. So I think now with people are interested in privacy and data protection, they should keep an eye on AI, because a lot of things are coming from there. And of course, considering AI and everything else about, securing our data, is cyber attacks. So I also am seeing a lot of this in the data protection field, which is a trend that everyone's just, concerned about data breaches. So every day, I don't know, you just open a newspaper, you see some company has been hacked, and a lot of, personal data has been leaked. They are on the deep web, or they're being, used for a bad use of your data that you didn't want to share. So a lot of companies are really investing their money in protecting the data they have. So giving employee trainings, implementing different types of security in their own systems. So I see another trend there, and also space for more jobs and more roles, with cybersecurity being a main topic for those companies, because nobody wants to have, right, their data shared in the deep web or stuff, my health data, I don't know, my DNA data, or something that is very, very sensitive. I don't want this to be shared with anyone, sometimes not even with the company that I'm sharing with, but I don't have an option. I want to use their service or their product. But yeah, you need to at least protect yourself and protect the data subjects. So I like to use, like smartwatches, but I know they store a lot of my data. I know a lot of my routine. If I do, I don't know, workouts, how much time I have of sleep each day. So a lot of sensitive data there, health data. And then, of course, those companies and others, they need to protect this and prevent from having cyber attacks and sharing this information. And of course, AI is the thing. So it's also a space for privacy professionals, of course, because with this AI Act coming and some guidelines, and everybody and the companies are still trying to figure it out how to deal with this and protect the data subjects' rights. So yeah, I think these are the two most trends that everyone is just concerned and keeping an eye right now.
It's interesting to hear about all these upcoming trends that all the professionals should be aware of. Now, my next question is, what advice would you like to give to the upcoming legal professionals who are interested in pursuing this field as a career?
Yeah, so I can say by myself, because as I mentioned, I come from different, like legal background, from tax, and then from more like agreements, commercial law. Basically, what I would suggest, if anyone wants to, of course, join, as I work with this. So, of course, I'm going to say as much as possible to bring more people and talented people for this field of law. But basically, get yourself involved in this. So you can follow like people on LinkedIn, on Twitter, like social media itself. They are talking about this. So you can follow them and see what they are talking right now. What is a new trend, or what is going on? And, like follow news, trying to research some newsletters. I have my own newsletter about this, the Data Guardian. So you can also follow this one, but you can check other resources online. Each day you have something regarding data protection, cybersecurity, which is very related, and AI. You can try like books, online courses. When I started this journey, basically I had a colleague that she gave me a book about this, and then she recommended me some online courses and some online trainings, and most of them are free. So if you want to get yourself involved in this, in the concepts, in the principles, you can start like basically doing this, like reading books, online courses, studying, get yourself involved in this and see what people are talking about. And in case you want something more specific, you can try getting a certification. So a lot of organizations right now, after you do a test, you can get certified as a privacy professional. So if you're interested in this and you want to invest your time and money on this, yeah, I think it's very important. A lot of companies, they really value people and talents that have these types of certifications. So it's really interesting if you want to. And of course, you have to study to do the test. So it's kind of a good thing, because at the same time you're studying and getting more knowledge about the privacy. And of course, it's also going to be better for your CV and for your career if you want to land a job at this field later. And of course, like networking and mentorship, I think this is not only for privacy but for all professionals. If you can get yourself in events and in conference and network and talk with people, and of course on social media, reach out to them and talk and see if you can find like a mentor that can guide you, and see what other privacy professionals and professionals in general are doing, so that you can follow and see what they did, and get some tips. Can you help me on this? Could you recommend me a course on a book? So like get yourself involved in this. And one thing that I did, I think, was kind of turn a lot of things in my life, especially a key, was to join a group about this. So I joined a group called 𝗲-𝗰𝗲, which is an organization for privacy professionals. And I think that I learned so much. I learned so much about privacy. I started doing some volunteer work with them, so I get to know a lot of people. So doing networking, and of course getting myself more involved with the topics. So it's very important. So of course you can try 𝗲-𝗰𝗲. You have other organizations there. They are out there. They're also really amazing. So you just try to do this. I know that IAPP, which is the Institutional for Privacy Professionals, they have a volunteer work, so you can apply. So just try to understand more about this topic, see if you like, see if you enjoy this, and if yes, start learning more about the concepts. And then eventually, if you want to land a job, a career, it's going to be much more easy because you already have the concepts. And as this is very new, you just need to constantly be studying and constantly be following the news. So every day you're going to have something different. So just forever, right? Studying is forever. So you just need to keep following the trends and keep following the new regulations, new legislations, new data protection authorities' decisions. So this is very important because there are a lot of room there. And of course, I would say that it's amazing to work with privacy and data protection. I see a lot of room for this to grow even more. So it's growing each day more. You have space there. And I think if you're interested in this, of course, you can reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to give you some mentorship and guide you. I'm also learning. But yeah, I would say basically that's the main tips.
Thank you so much, Maísa, for this wonderful tips for our audience. Do you have any concluding remarks before we conclude the session for today?
No, yeah, I would just say that it was really nice to be here, like talking to you about this, especially talking, how I started is very important because I'm still starting. So that's the main thing I would like to say. As this is very new, doesn't matter, 10 years from now, I'm still going to be learning and trying new things and trying new approaches to, be in this career. And I think there are a lot of room there. So if you're interested in this, I think that there are a lot of space, a lot of careers each day more. You can see some studies on this, about expectations about this field for the future. And you can see with AI, a lot of things are happening there. So, launching programs, companies are still launching their privacy programs. So you still have field there and no area for creativity and innovation. So if you're interested in this, I think it would be amazing. Yeah, feel free to reach out if you need anything or any advice or recommendations. I will be more than happy.
Thank you so much, Maísa, for this wonderful tips and for the wonderful conversation we had. It was really fascinating and interesting for our audience. If our audience enjoyed today's session, feel free to comment and subscribe to us. And also stay tuned for upcoming exciting podcasts in the future. Thank you, goodbye, and take care.